Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. There's a massive power shift happening in the world of technology, and it's happening right under our noses. While everyone's been watching Silicon Valley, one nation has been on a quiet, deliberate mission to control the very building blocks of our digital future. Today we're going to dive deep into the rise of India's Silicon Corridor.
This quote, it just perfectly frames the stakes, doesn't it? For decades, the semiconductor story was written in Silicon Valley and then fabricated out in East Asia. But now, a whole new chapter is being written on the Indian subcontinent. And let me tell you, this is no accident. It's a high-stakes play to build the world's next hardware superpower.
All right, so first up, let's really understand this shift. For decades, India's role in the global tech supply chain was pretty clear, right? It was the world's back office, a total powerhouse of brainpower, for sure, but not manufacturing muscle. Well, we're now at the end of that design-only era.
The ambition here is just staggering. I mean, think about it. India has long been home to nearly a fifth of the world's chip designers, creating the blueprints for basically all our technology. But that intellectual property, it was always sent abroad for manufacturing, and that's a massive strategic vulnerability. The new goal is to own the entire process, from the initial design concept all the way to the finished chip. This is the pivot from just being a service provider to becoming a full-stack powerhouse.
So, what was the big catalyst? What lit the fire? Well, it was the global chip shortage. Remember that? When the pandemic hit, supply chains just snapped. It affected over 169 industries. Cars couldn't be built. Electronics prices went through the roof. And the crisis revealed a really dangerous truth. Over 60% of the world's semiconductors came from just one location. For India, this wasn't just some inconvenience. It was a wake-up call, a national security threat that demanded a whole new strategy.
And that new strategy, it's built around a single, really powerful concept, technological sovereignty. Look, this isn't just about economics. It's about national security in the 21st century. It's the power to control your own destiny by controlling the fundamental components of modern civilization. And let's be real, in the digital age, the nation that controls the chips, well, they control the future.
Okay, so achieving that sovereignty requires an epicenter, a heart. And India's answer is a region called Gujarat and a specific place called Dholera. This is what we're calling the Gujarat blueprint, the physical heart of this new Silicon Corridor.
And the scale here is just immense. We're talking about a 920 square kilometer area. It's a brand new, high-tech city being built completely from the ground up. It's designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to house the world's most advanced manufacturing. So this isn't about, retrofitting some old industrial park. This is about engineering the perfect environment right from scratch.
The strategy they're using is something called the utilities first model. You see, semiconductor fabs are incredibly demanding. They need more power than a small city and water that's purer than anything you'd find in nature. So instead of waiting for companies to show up and then building everything, Gujarat built all this critical infrastructure first. So when a company decides to invest, the land is literally shovel-ready, which drastically cuts down on construction time.
And the anchor tenant for this new city? It's massive. Tata Electronics, in partnership with Taiwan's PSMC, is building an $11 billion fabrication plant. A project this big signals to the rest of the world that India is absolutely serious. And bringing in that Taiwanese expertise, that's a masterstroke. It lets India leapfrog decades of trial and error.
Now, to put that into perspective, this one single facility is going to produce 50,000 wafers a month, and the first made-in-India chips are slated to roll out commercially in late 2026. So you see, this isn't some distant dream. This is happening right now.
So, we've got this massive new production hub coming online. What does this actually mean for the rest of the world? Well, it means a direct challenge to the global bottlenecks that have crippled entire industries. Let's dig into how this is going to build a much more resilient supply chain for everyone.
And this really gets to the high-stakes reality of the situation. By building this kind of capacity, India isn't just becoming another player on the board. No, it's positioning itself as a central, indispensable hub in the global technology network. It's effectively de-risking the entire system from its over-reliance on just a few East Asian locations.
And the impact, it's going to be felt across the most critical sectors out there. The automotive industry, which, as we know, was absolutely crippled by the recent shortages, will probably be the biggest beneficiary. But right behind it are the AI and data center industries, which are just hungry for chips to power the next generation of computing. You see, India's strategy is to target the areas where the global bottlenecks are the most severe.
And this table really breaks down that multi-pronged approach. You can see that Tata PSMC Fab is targeting those logic chips for the auto and industrial sectors. Then you've got CG Power focusing on power chips for EVs. Micron is handling the memory for AI and smartphones, while another Tata plant is working on advanced packaging for high-performance AI. See, each facility is like a targeted solution to a specific global bottleneck.
Now, you might be thinking, lots of countries have tried to build a semiconductor industry and failed. So what's India's secret weapon? What makes this different? Well, the answer lies within its own borders.
India's secret weapon is this number, $110 billion. That's the projected size of its domestic chip market by 2030. This creates a massive, guaranteed customer base for these new fabs, which insulates them from the crazy ups and downs of relying only on exports.
And that demand is coming from every corner of the Indian economy. The country is electrifying its entire vehicle fleet, it's building out massive 5G and even 6G networks, and it's deploying huge AI data centers. Now add to that one of the world's largest smartphone markets and a rapidly automating industrial sector, and what you have is a self-sustaining ecosystem.
And this all leads to a very clear government target. By 2029, India aims to manufacture nearly 3/4 of all the chips it consumes. This is the domestic shield in action. It's what insulates the entire strategy from global market volatility.
So, let's put it all together. What is the long-term result of this huge strategic pivot, this massive infrastructure build, and this powerful domestic shield? Well, it's nothing less than the complete redrawing of the global technology map.
And the pace is just astonishing. I mean, the mission was only launched in 2021. This year, the first fabs go live. In just a few years, the country expects to achieve near self-sufficiency. And by 2035, the ambition isn't just to be a player, but to be one of the top semiconductor nations in the entire world.
So, this brings us to the critical question. Has the global semiconductor map been permanently redrawn? And based on the evidence, the sheer momentum, and the strategic vision we've just outlined, well, the old map is already starting to look obsolete, isn't it?
And this quote really captures the urgency and the scale of what is happening. This isn't some gradual evolution. It's a rapid, deliberate ascent. While the world was focused on the existing players, India was quietly building the foundations to become the new center of gravity for hardware.
Look, we are witnessing a historic transformation right before our eyes. The old narrative of India as a software and services giant is being replaced by a powerful new one. India as a hardware superpower, a nation moving from simply designing our digital world to physically building it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more such interesting content.